Attacks on U.S. soil are not just something of the past. These are things that we are now concerned with here in 2023. According to multiple experts and according to people from the FBI, they are saying that there is an increased chance of attacks here on U.S. soil. And I want to break down what's going on. I want to explain where this is coming from and a warning from the FBI themselves. Now, I'm going to break this down in today's video. If you have any questions whatsoever, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. Now, before I jump into the video, I do want to give you a warning. This is a warning. I've talked to many different people, mostly people from police stations, chiefs, stuff like that. And every single one says this one thing. If you are concerned about attacks, stay out of the bigger cities. And stay out of cities that have a decent amount of either Jewish or Palestinian people. Not because they're dangerous. Yeah, I want to be very clear on that. They're not saying because those people are dangerous, but because those cities are more likely to see an attack. So, that's what they're saying. Again, if you have any questions, you can ask your questions down in the comment section below, and I will try to answer that in a following video. But if you're ready, let's get right down to it. So according to the FBI director himself, he says the Hamas attack could inspire violent extremists in the United States. That was what he said about a month ago. Now, he also said that anti-Semitism is reaching historic levels here in the U.S. He said that back on October 31st. Now, I want to be very clear. He's made multiple statements, and most recently, he made statements on Homeland Security during a House committee. Right? This is exactly what he said. This is from him. You can even see it says, "Good morning, Chairman Green, Ranking Member Thompson, and members of the committee." He's addressing them. Okay, this is his pretty much word for word, statement. Now, I'm not going to read through the whole thing. I just want to read you the stuff that I've highlighted. It says, in a year when the terrorism threat was already elevated, the ongoing war in the Middle East has raised the threat of an attack against Americans in the United States to a whole other level. Now, I bring this up because over the past couple of days, we have seen some very disturbing things. One of those things is this. It says, from Palestine to New York City, globalized the Intifada. Now, this says zone of direct action. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because we are being told that if you were to see an attack, okay, it's right here, okay, you need to come to one of these areas. This is where the attack's most likely going to happen, all right? I'm not here to say you need to go to these areas. I'm here to tell you, and this is exactly what I've heard from a couple people from the FBI as well, is to stay away from very populated areas. In New York City, it's very difficult, obviously, because there's a lot of people. In California and in Los Angeles, same thing. Okay, in very populated cities, in Chicago, right? In Detroit, right? Seattle, just populated cities. Now, this came out, and then soon after that, there was another one. This one, another zone of operations. Now, it's just highlighting very popular places like Rockefeller Center, Times Square, right? Central Park. That's all it's doing. Now, with that said, I'm going to address what one FBI agent had to say. Okay, I'll address that in just a moment. First, I want to talk about the rest of these things that the FBI director had to say. He says, given those calls for action, our most immediate concern is that individuals or small groups will draw twisted inspirations from the events in the Middle East to carry out attacks here at home. That includes homegrown violent extremists inspired by a foreign terrorist organization and domestic violent extremists targeting Jewish Americans or other faith communities like Muslim Americans. It says, on top of the so-called lone actor threat, we cannot and do not discount the possibility that Hamas or another foreign terrorist organization may exploit the current conflict to conduct attacks here on our own soil. It says, now I want to be clear. While this is certainly a time for heightened vigilance, it is by no means a time to panic. Americans should continue to be alert and careful, but they shouldn't stop going about their daily lives. He said that multiple times. Now, I want to address what was said by this FBI agent, okay? Because he said that what they know is that the attacks on the United States are more likely to come from within. That is the concern, that is the common consensus amongst FBI ranks, is that the attack is most likely to come from within. So people already here on U.S. soil. It says where one person attacks another from a different group to show their opposition to that crisis. For instance, if an Israeli attacks a Palestinian, or does something to a group, for instance, during a protest. This is where this could turn into a massive issue, and this is where the attacks could come from. He also said that that the FBI is warning that there are potential sleeper cells here in the United States that could help coordinate an attack. But get this, keyword is help coordinate, not conduct the attack. Now, I'm not here to just be like, hey, you got panic, you need to worry, you need to just be concerned, stay inside, lock your doors, never leave your home. I'm not saying that. But this is what the FBI is warning us about, is that the sleeper cells are already here. We've left the border open long enough. If people wanted to come in and just, put down roots and start a family, start whatever they wanted to do, they could do it. We've been open long enough. But it says they would help coordinate, not conduct the attack, which means they might not be the ones making the big move, but they could simply be the ones trying to rile up the American people and hype them up and get them so worried that they're the ones that are going to be attacked, that they go and attack first. Okay? And so I bring this up because that's where things are at. That's where we've kind of gone to. Is the concern is the attack isn't going to come from Hamas. Now it could. Hamas could do something and try to attack the United States. It would likely be a cyber attack. Okay? In Iran, Hezbollah, anything like that. Could they come and attack the United States? Yes, could. But is that very likely? No. It's not likely. According to the FBI, the biggest concern is the attack will be coming from within. People already here in the United States. Okay? I just wanted to put that out there. I wanted to show you those little graphs, those little maps, because what we're hearing is it doesn't matter where you're at. Okay? It doesn't matter that an attack could happen anywhere. An attack could happen in some small town. Right? It could happen in a large city. It could happen in a very populated area, or it can happen to just one person. An attack is an attack. Now, what the FBI said, I want to show you one more time, because they're standing behind this. All right? They've said it multiple times. The FBI director, Ray, has stated this multiple times. He says, I want to be clear. While this is certainly a time for heightened vigilance, it is by no means a time to panic. Americans should continue to be alert and careful, but they shouldn't stop going about their daily lives. That's what they're saying. So, again, I just wanted to fill you in on what's going on at this time. Yes, there are some additional risks. There's heightened risks here in the United States about attacks on U.S. soil, but we don't know where they're exactly coming from. So, that's where we're at this time. As always, as I know more, I promise, I'll come back on and share all the latest news and updates, but that is what we know as of right now. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing. I'll see you guys on the next one.